This is a poem by Gail Gardner. It's called The Dude Wrangler. I can relate to this. I got out before any harm was done seriously to me. I worked for 3 years at a highfalutin ranch, was a teamster, drove the guests down to the chuck wagon, then I'd hop out, play the banjo, spout some poetry, tell some stories. It was good. We was on the Blackfoot River. It was pretty nice country, and all in all it was kind of fun, but I'm glad to get out before what happened in this poem ever was done. This is called The Dude Wrangler by Gail Gardner. Old poem. Rings true to me. I'll tell you of a sad, sad story of a cowboy who fell from grace. Now really, this is something awful. There never was so sad a case. One time I had myself a partner. I never known one half so good. We throwed our outfits in together and lived as cowboys should. He savvied all about wild cattle. He was handy with a rope. For a gentle, well-reined pony, just give me one he'd broke. Never owned no clothes but Levi's, and he wore 'em till they were slick. Never wore no big old Stetson 'cause the brush we rode was mighty thick. Never had no time for women, so bashful and shy was he. Besides, he knowed they was poison. He always left 'em be. Well, he went to work on distant ranges. I didn't see him for a year. But then I had no cause to worry, for I knowed that someday he'd reappear. One day I rode in from the mountains a-feelin' good and steppin' light, for I just sold all my yearlings, and the price was just out of sight. But soon I seen a sight so awful, it caused my joy to fade away. It filled my very soul with sorrow. No, I'll never forget that day. For down the street there comes a-walkin' my old-time partner of yore. Although I know you won't believe me, let me tell you what he wore. He had his boots outside his breeches. They was made of leather, green and red. His shirt was of a dozen colors, loud enough to wake the dead. Around his neck he had a kerchief, knotted through a silver ring. I swear to God he had on a wristwatch. Who ever heard of such a thing? Says I, old scout, now what's the trouble? You must have got some local weed. You just tell me how to help you out. I'll get you anything you need. He looked at me for half a minute. Then he began to bawl. He says, "Bear with me while I tell you what made me take this awful fall. It was a woman from Chicago who put the Injun sign on me. She told me that I was romantic and handsome as can be. Says he, I'm afraid there ain't nothing that you can do to save my hide. I'm wrangling dudes instead of cattle. I'm what they call a first-class guy. Oh, I saddles up the pump-tailed ponies. I fix their stirrups for 'em too. I boost 'em up on their saddles. Why, they give me tips when I'm through. It's just like horses eating local. You can't quit, even if you try. I'll go on wrangling dudes, I guess, till the day that I shall die." So I drawed my gun, throwed it on him. I had to turn and look away. I shot him squarely through the middle, and where he fell, I let him lay. I surely hated for to do it, for things you do you can't recall. But when a cowboy turns dude wrangler, he ain't no good no more at all.